Week 9 of the high school football season. Really big week. John, I don't know if you got to look at any scores yet or not. But
I have not, so everything's going to be fresh to me.
Okay. So I'll tell you what. A lot of regions were clinched tonight. A lot of playoff matchups, kind of are coming a little bit closer. Put it that way. You can kind of get a little look at what some of the stuff's going to be looking at here in a couple weeks, because we only got one more regular season a week after this one. So a lot of things are now set. And it was a really fun night of football. A lot of great action, a lot of great games. So give me just a second more here to get this going on Twitter, and we will be going into some scores for you guys.
And Kev, I am getting access to some statewide scores here in a moment as well.
Perfect. Yes, I've got all the Upstate stuff here for us. Seemed like about half the games were last night. People were kind of worried about some rain. So a lot of teams played last night. I think maybe how many? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe 8 or 9. It looks like from what I can gather. Look, that's
a couple of the big games too. Myrtle Beach Wilson comes to mind.
Yep.
I believe Daniel and Pickens played last night as well.
Yep, they did. That was a big win for Daniel there, and we'll get into that score in about 5 seconds. Let's see, where is my page? Cancel. Go. And let's go. Yeah, we're here now. We'll get going into some of the Upstate scores. So last night, one of our games of the week, this game turned out a little bit differently than what I expected, John. Maybe you as well. But how about Wren beating BHP 55-28 last night? That kind of caught me off guard. I think, obviously we know Wren has a big-time offense, but I didn't realize they were going to put up 55 on BHP like they did there. So big win for the Hurricanes.
I think we were talking last week, too, about how we really haven't talked about BHP much, and, well, maybe that's why.
Yeah, they're gonna stay under the radar for us for sure. Our other big game, this might have been the best game of the night, or one of them right here. Lawrence 33, TL Hanna 23. Good win there for the Raiders. That clinches that region for those guys. Dorman goes over to Freeman Field and puts a whooping on Mauldin 55-7. Gaffney handles Bowling Springs no problems 56-13. Spartanburg 62, Riverside 7. We've got Burns 46, Hillcrest 23. Chapman, another week, putting up 69 points. They beat Southside 69-20. Big win there for Southside.
No pushover either.
Yeah, big win against Southside there for Chapman. Chapman, like we said, they can score against anybody, it seems like. So,
do they have a punter? Can we check on that? Do they even punt the ball? Have they punted the ball?
I couldn't answer that for you. I don't know. I don't think they've had a need to yet. So we may not figure that out until the playoffs and they play some more stiffer defenses. So we'll find out about that lately. Big win for Union County, 28-21 over Newberry. Woodruff beats Mid Carolina 28-24. Blacksburg 42, Landrum 36. Broome 54, Carolina 16. Last night, Eastside holds off Greer 35-28. That's Eastside's first win in that series in 15 years. So big win there for the Eagles, go on the road to beat Greer. First time in 15 years there. Pendleton blanks Liberty 35-0. Daniel blanks Pickens 45-0. Seneca 25, Crescent 21. Greenville all over Berea 65-0. Funny, Berea has had some more issues this week. They actually had their coach suspended because of a DUI the other night. So they've got a lot going on over there at Berea. So tough week for the Bulldogs. Tough week for the Bulldogs for sure. Travelers Rest hangs on to beat Blue Ridge 35-28. That's kind of one of those odd series where they actually play twice every year. This is the second. I think this is the conference matchup here. TR beats Blue Ridge by 7. Exactly. Powdersville 47, West Oak 28. Woodmont comes back from a halftime deficit and beats Easley 21-14. Westside turning a corner here. Back-to-back big wins. Westside 26, Greenwood 9. Southside.
Nice,
that's big for Westside there. The Rams. I think they're certainly in the playoffs now. They look they may be ready to call some noise too. So Southside Christian travels to Atlanta and beats Georgia Force Christian 48-13. JL Man 47, Wade Hampton 36. Maybe the most offensive game of the night here. Walhalla 69, Palmetto 55.
Wow.
High scoring game over there at Palmetto.
That might have been a basketball game, Kev.
Right, a basketball game broke out on turf for sure. St. Joe's 47, Christchurch 7, and Abbeville clinches their region with a 48-20 win over Saluda. Abbeville just continues
That's impressive.
to roll again every week. I feel like we say that they just keep on winning.
And that's a good Saluda team as well.
Yeah, they are. They gave Southside Christian a good game a few weeks ago, but still, Abbeville I think is head and shoulders above most teams in 2A. It seems like maybe Southside Christian can play with them, but that would be the only one that I think could really give them a good ball game here. So we'll see how that goes. John, do you have any Upstate scores, or do you want me to read some for you here? I don't know what you've got on your side.
I got some state scores I can reel off here.
Awesome. Let's do that. Yeah, and if I see any others that you've missed, I'll kind of throw them in at the end here.
So here's a close one here. Airport over South Aiken, 17-16.
Wow, that actually sets up a matchup next week between Airport and Brooklyn KC for the region championship. That'll be a really big game down there.
That's a little rivalry there.
Yeah, that'll be a big time game between those two schools next Friday night.
Good stuff. Batesburg, Leesville, all over Fox Creek, 55-13. Ben Lippin, 25. Porter Gal, 20. Brooklyn Casey, as you mentioned earlier, they blew out Aiken tonight, 45-7. Camden with a big win tonight over Indian Land, 51-27. Chester beats Fairfield Central tonight, 42-14. Now, if you guys remember, Fairfield Central was my team of the week a couple weeks ago. I think 2 weeks ago when they knocked off Camden. Mm-hmm. So pretty telling there with Chester beating up on Fairfield Central tonight. Great Collegiate over Eau Claire, 62-0. Gilbert 56, Edisto 6. Lakewood 54, Dreher 6. Louisville 24, North Central 16. Lexington 41, Chapin 14. Lower Richland 32, AC Flora 20. And this makes me happy here, Kev. Lugoff Elgin 23, Blythewood 20. And as I was cruising down I-20 tonight, I could see the bright lights of Lugoff Belgian Stadium. So
I saw that score.
Good to see that a good game.
So, John, did you see what happened before the game, though, at LA?
I did not. So,
apparently,
while I'm driving, I don't look at my phone. I don't want to get distracted. I saw the video came up, but I have not gotten a chance to watch it.
Yeah, so apparently before the game, one corner of the section of lights went out. So they brought out the fire department and put up some lights and lit that corner of the stadium that way. So they got really resourceful there and made it work. And they pulled up a big upset tonight for sure too.
I tell you what, that town's getting bigger and bigger.
Big win there for those guys.
That's cool. The Blackwood folks are probably thinking, why in the heck are we here right now? They don't even have lights. That's cool. South Point. A nice win over Ridgeview tonight, 10-3.
Yep, that clinches region for those guys as well. I think that may be one of the games of the state. It sounds like tonight, that 10-3 ball game.
Yeah, Ridgeview, we talked a lot about them earlier in the year. They've fallen off a little bit, but a tough game against South Point tonight. Strong Thurman over Pelion, 42-0. Sumter in a tight one over Spring Valley, 30-21. Union over Newberry, 28-21. York, 45. Richland Northeast, 0. White Knoll 14, River Bluff 10. And let's see here, Andrew Jackson defeated Central 35-7. Andrews over Mullins 40-34. Ainer in a tough one. They knocked off Loris tonight 30-24. Nice to see they were able to refocus after that big win over Dillon last week. Bamberg Earhart 14, Whale Branch 7. Barnwell 48, Woodland 0. Buford over Hill Head Island, 38-21. Berkeley, 34. Stratford, 7. Bishop England over Georgetown, 37-14. Blackville Hilda, 38. Williston Elko, 15. Buford, 50. Lee Central, 40. C.E. Murray over Bethune-Bowman, 49-12. Carolina Forest over West Lawrence, 63-14. Sherrill over Marion, 37-14. Chesterfield defeated Carolina Pride out of North Carolina, 35-0. Clinton, an overtime win. Now, explain this one to me here, Kevin. Overtime is what I'm reading, but the score is Clinton 28, Emerald 14. So maybe a touchdown and a pick six in that one, but
yeah, I guess. Is that even legal in high school? I don't know how you if that's allowed or not. Yeah.
Kick 2 extra points. So I don't know. Maybe they went for 2. In the first overtime, that would be something we can look into there.
Yeah.
Clover over Catawba Ridge, 63-14. Colleton County over Bluffton, 34-21. Crestwood 20, Orangeburg Wilkinson 10, Cross 20, Scott Sprint 0. Dillon back on the winning track. They defeat Lake City 42 to 14. East Clarendon over Carter's Bay 28-21. Fort Dorchester a winner over Ashley Ridge 41-14. Gilbert over Edison 56-6. Goose Creek over James Island 42-14. Green Sea Floyd's continues their great season. They defeat Hemingway tonight 62-7. Hartsville over North Myrtle Beach. That's a big game there in that class.
That is.
24-8 Red Foxes in that game. Let's see if we've got any more here that you have not already mentioned. Lamar over Great Falls 55-18. Manning over Hanahan 53-6. Marlboro County over Arlington 28-6. May River 52, Battery Creek 13. McBee 48, Timmonsville 8. 96 over Silver Bluff 29-28. Close game there.
Mm-hmm.
North Augusta over Midland Valley 35-13. Your guys, PD Academy over Christian Academy of Myrtle Beach 47-10.
That's right, big win there for the Eagles. John, do you have no, you keep going. I'll find that score. Yeah, somebody asked for the Northwestern Fort Mill score. I'll pull that up while you're going through what you got over there.
I have not seen that one yet. Out of York County, the Rock Hill defeated Nation Ford 31-7. South Florence over Socastee 38-13. And that's all the scores that I have here. I don't see anything from Northwestern yet.
I've still got an in-progress game here, but let me give me just a second. I might be able to find it for you. Yeah, once again, if you got the score, shoot it to us, man, for sure. So we're waiting to we're trying to pull them in as we can here. So if you got a score for that game, feel free to shoot it over to us. We'd love to have it. Let's see. Yeah, so once again, week 9, Moving the Chains. I'm Kevin Thomas here alongside John Epps here on our call-in line, doing some different stuff tonight. 51-0, big win for Northwestern. Wow, big win for the Trojans there. That's a good win for those. Anytime you can shut out a team like that, especially.
Who did they knock off?
Fort Mill, 51-0.
Oh wow.
Yeah, big win there for those guys. Thank you for getting in there with the score. We appreciate that, man. Once again, that's week 9. If you're watching on Twitter, we appreciate it. We're Movin Chains, MOVINCHAINS on Twitter. We're Movin the Chains on Facebook. Check us out. Follow us on both. Like I told you before, we do a little more stuff on Twitter, nights of the games with updates, things like that. While during the week, we kind of post just our teams of the week and whatnot on both pages. So be sure to follow us on both if you can. We'd love to have you there. We're also now on Apple iTunes. We're on Spotify. We're on Anchor. If you love the audio version of it, you can get us on there. We are on YouTube if you want to watch us the day after. However you guys consume audio and consume content, we're trying to be there. So we actually got some cool stuff coming for you as well with some written stuff here in a few weeks also, getting ready for the playoffs. But we're super excited that you guys are tuning in and watching us. Really appreciate all the followers we have. I want to give a quick shout out to one of our sponsors here, the Georgia Agency. If you guys need insurance for your business or for yourself, maybe you're a seasonal worker, or maybe your company doesn't provide you insurance, or maybe even you're a business owner and need it for your whole company, call the guys there. Call Bradley and Wayne and Richard and the crew. They'll get you hooked up. Actually, I know open enrollment starts November 1st, I believe. So if you don't have your plans for your insurance going into the next year, give those guys a call. Let the professionals help you out. They've got plans with premiums as low as $0 down, or $0 a month really to get you in there. So give those guys a ring. Check them out on Facebook, thegeorgiaagency.net online as well. So check those guys out, and Bradley and the crew will certainly help you out. Big thanks to those guys for being one of our big sponsors there. Also check out Always on Top Clothing. I don't have my shirt today with me, but you guys have seen it before. Basically, it shows you Tar Heels are always on top of the Gamecocks. If you guys are any Tar Heel fans, or you are one yourself, check them out. Always on Top Clothing, Always on Top brand on Facebook and Twitter, and order your shirt today. Got some new designs coming too, I know, for a couple other schools here shortly as well. So, John, I'm going to run through the Upstate scores one more time here, and maybe we'll get into our teams of the week if that works for you.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Awesome. So Upstate scores here one more time for you guys who are just tuning in to us for week 9 of Moving the Chains. Wren 55, BHP 28. Lawrence 33, TL Hanna 23. Dorman 55, Mauldin 7. Gaffney 56, Boiling Springs 13. Spartanburg 62, Riverside 7. Burns 46, Hillcrest 23. Chapman 69, Southside 20. Union County 28, Newberry 21. Woodruff 28, Mid Carolina 24. Blacksburg 42, Landrum 36. Broome 54, Carolina 16. Eastside 35, Greer 28. Pendleton 35, Liberty 0. Daniel 45, Pickens 0. Seneca 25, Crescent 21. Greenville 65, Berea 0. Travelers Rest 35, Blue Ridge 28. Powdersville 47, West Oak 28. Woodmont 21, Easley 14. Westside 26, Greenwood 9. Southside Christian 48, Georgia Force Christian 13. Jailman 47, Wade Hampton 36. Walhalla 69, Palmetto 55. St. Joe's 47, Christchurch 7. Abbeville 48, Saluda 20. That's all of our upstate scores we have. If we missed anybody, let us know. I know we've got a few private schools up here we hadn't said because we haven't seen those scores. We've got everything else, I believe, from the upstate locked in there. And it looks like, John, we talked about, this was kind of an odd week here where I think a lot of people who had homecoming or senior night this week were kind of worried about the rain. So let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games in the upstate got moved to Thursday night, moved to last night because they were just kind of worried about it. But it ended up being a great night out here. It was, low 60s all night, so no rain. But I guess they got to make that call kind of early in the week to make sure to get everybody set up. So a little bit of some split action this week up here in the upstate for sure. So glad to see some good action. Like I said, at least 1, 2, 3, I know region championships were clinched tonight, if not more. There's still a couple things on the line next week. It's certainly for playoff seeding, so that'll be a big week of football here as we roll into Week 10 next week. John, are you ready for your team of the week? You need a second to look some more, or what are you thinking?
I think I got lined up here. It's my team of the week's a little bit of a cheapie, but
oh god,
you go first, and let's make sure we're not on the same page here.
Okay, I'll tell you what, this team I'm going to go with is a team that we haven't talked a ton about this year. We mentioned them a few more times the last couple weeks.
It's the same team then for me.
You think so?
No, it's not.
Oh, it's not. Okay. Well, this team, we started talking about them more a couple weeks ago, and they pulled off a big upset, and they've had a couple nice wins since then. And I'm gonna give it to Lawrence. I think that win, 33-23 over TL Hanna tonight at home. I know, but that's a big win for this guy. Going into this year, John, in the last couple of years, that region's been TL Hanna's. I mean, it has been. Those guys.
And nobody has talked about Lawrence.
Yeah, TL Hanna hasn't lost a game last year until I think maybe the state championship. I know they got beat last year by Dutch Fork. Obviously, they were, 13-0, 14-0 going into that game. The year before, they had a 10, 12, 13-win season again, whatever it was. And I think people thought that this year, even with some transitions as far as people graduating and new coaches, they thought TL Hanna would still be the team to beat there. But hats off to Lawrence. They came out, they beat TL Hanna a couple weeks ago. They beat Greenwood. I believe they beat Woodmont. I don't know who else they have to play in the region, but I think they've pretty much beat all the big dogs at least over there. So
yeah, Lawrence
claimed that region championship with the win over TL Hanna tonight. I'm going with those guys. That's my team of the week. Hats off to those guys. And I think they can make some noise in playoffs for sure. I know everybody talks about the big region there with Dorman and Burns and Gaffney and those guys. But I think this Lawrence team could certainly win a ball game or two in the playoffs, if not maybe 3 or 4.
I think so too.
So, John, who is your team of the week then? So,
this is the other side of the coin. This is a school that we talk about almost on a weekly basis. And it's become just a habit of expecting them to just blow people out. We see on TV where Clemson comes into the season ranked number 1 and they're not blowing people out. They're winning games 45-10, 45-14. They're dropping in the rankings. I think a lot of people expect Clemson to be doing what Chapman is doing this year.
Okay.
It's just another ho-hum 49-point win.
Yep.
They score 69. And it's a quality opponent. It's not a bad team.
Yeah, Southside's a good football team.
Every single week.
Yep.
It's absolutely impressive what they're doing.
And this week too, I'm sure you guys probably remember something last week how Dillon went down. Chapman took over the number 1 spot in the polls this week in 3A.
As they should.
They showed no ill effects of that. That didn't bother them at all. They were ready for it, and they came out and, like I said, dropped 69 points again on Southside as Coach Hodge and those guys. The Panthers got another very big win. So, teams of the week.
That's all of that coaching staff, too, because to be able to get kids that are, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 years old, to be able to have that kind of focus week in, week out is very, very impressive.
Yep, sure is. So, John's team of the week, the Chapman Panthers. Mine are the Lawrence Raiders. It is Raiders, right, John? That sounds right. Yeah, Lawrence.
I believe so.
Yeah, Lawrence Raiders, my team of the week. So, big wins for both of those guys. I think they both clinched region now. I know Chapman's was kind of a foregone conclusion, but I think now it's official. While Lawrence, obviously had to win a few games here at the end. But that's our teams of the week there. John, do you have a 240 your butt kick by chance, or is that too much work for you now?
Yeah, no, this one's pretty easy. So I don't know how, folks out there, I don't know how many facilities and football stadiums you've seen around the state or around the country for that matter. But South Carolina's got some really, really good stadiums, really good facilities. Mm-hmm. And one of those really good facilities is Blythewood's. It's a great facility, great stadium.
Yep.
So when you leave Blythewood, and even if you're going 20 minutes up the road to Lugoff, to get on the bus, leave Blythewood, leave that great place you got there, and have to play in front of the lights of fire trucks, in front of a bunch of rednecks, and lose by 2 points, you can't do that.
You hate to see it.
You
hate to see it.
Hate to see it. Hate to see the program Just Scott built and where they are here today.
Yeah, that was a big win for Lugoff. I was pretty surprised you didn't go team of the week for Lugoff then. I really thought that was where you were going with that direction there, John.
It was. I slowed down a little bit going past exit 92. I thought about it.
But yes, once again, week 9, Moving the Chains. I'm Kevin Thomas here in person with John Epps on our call-in line here. It's one week before the season ends. Lots of big matchups tonight. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I see we've got Russ over there, Haley, Dylan, Cato, Satcher. Thank you guys for tuning in. Got a bunch of shares and likes already. Appreciate you guys. Got some guys here on Twitter as well comment. Thanks, you guys, for getting that Northwestern score to us and a couple other things as well. So I know Wren's tuned in. Wren, big win last night for you guys, 55-28 over BHP. That offense you guys have got is impressive. So glad to see you guys keep rolling there. I think we actually just lost John. So I'm going to run through the statewide scores one more time, upper state scores one more time, and then we'll kind of get out of here and see you guys next week. So we've got, let's see, Lugoff Elgin 23, Blackwood 20, Wade Hampton down in Hampton 41, Ridgeland Hardyville 12, St. James 10, Conway 7, Rock Hill knocks off Nation Ford 31-7. Let's see what else we've got here. Oh, on the top there we go. Chesterfield 35, Carolina 0, West Ashley 24, Stall 11, Whitmire 46, McCormick 44. Lawrence Manning, 34, Poundwood Prep 6. Heathwood Hall, 21, Camden Military 0. Hammond, 52, Cardinal Newman 0. Ben Lippin, 25, Portergal 20. Orangeburg Prep, 48, Oakburg Prep 7. Williamsburg, 48, Kings 7. PD Academy, Go Eagles, 47-10 over Christian Academy of Myrtle Beach. Let's see. McBee, 48, Timmonsville 8. Green Sea Floyd continues to roll, 62-7 over Hemingway. Lamar 55, Great Falls 18. Wagner Sally 48, Denmark Olar 12. Cross 20, Scotts Branch 0. Ware Shoals 31, Calhoun Falls 14. Blackfield Hilda 38, Wilson Elko 15. C.E. Murray 49, Bethune Bowman 12. Baptist Hill 40, Military Magnet 0. Oceanside Collegiate 49, Timberland 40. Now Oceanside Collegiate had a little bit of an issue last week. There are some schools, I think Philip Simmons, maybe the whole district, brought up a issue of maybe some illegal players used by Oceanside Collegiate last week in reference to the 8-quarter rule where your guys can't play. They can't play so much, JV and varsity and things like that. So there might have been some issues there. So we'll see how that works out here in the next week or two. 96 beat Silver Bluff in overtime, 29-28. Louisville 24, North Central 16. Johnsonville 46, King Street 22. Grace Collegiate 62, Eau Claire 0. East Clarendon 28, Carvers Bay 21. Beaufort 50, Lee Central 40. Vicksburg Leesville 55, Fox Creek 13. Barnwell continues to roll. The Warhorses beat Woodland 48-0. Bamberg Earhart 14, Well Branch 7. Andrews 40, Mullins 34 in a shootout there. Andrew Jackson 35, Central 7. Strom Thurmond 42, Pillion 0. Manning 53, Hanahan 6. Gilbert 56, Edisto 6. Dillon back to the winning ways, 42-14 over Lake City. Clinton 28, Emerald 14. Chester 42, Fairfield Central 14. Sherrall 37, Marion 14. Camden beats Indianland 51-27. I believe that locks up the region for Camden there. Chester 42, Fairfield Central 14. Sherrall, I just wrote that one there. May River 52, Battery Creek 13. Ainer 30, Loris 24 in a tight ball game there. Waccamaw 49, Academic Magnet 0. South Point wraps up their region with a 10-3 victory over Ridgeview. Two very good 4A teams there. Airport 17, South Aiken 16, set up a matchup with Brooklyn KC for their region crown next week. York 45 versus Northeast 0. Westwood 46, Lancaster 0. Bad night for the Bruins. Hartsville 24, North Myrtle Beach 8. Lower Richland 32, AC Flora 20. That wraps up the region for the Diamond Hornets. Big win there for Lower Richland. Lakewood 54, Dreher 7. Barbara County 28, Darlington 6. Crestwood 20, Orange Wilkinson 10. Brooklyn KC 45, Aiken 7. Colony County 34, Bluffton 21. Beaufort 38, Hilton Head Island 21. Sumter 30, Spring Valley 28. White Knoll knocks off River Bluff 14-10. Goose Creek 42, James Island 14. Northwestern 51, Fort Mill 0. Shout out to our listener earlier for giving us that score as well. Appreciate that. St. James 10, Conway 7. Clover 63, Catawba Ridge 14. Lexington 41, Chapin 14. Carolina Forest 63, West Florence 14. Wando 42, Cane Bay 0. Lugoff Elgin 23, Blackwood 20. Berkeley 34, Stratford 7. Fort Dorchester 41, Ashley Ridge 14. Fort Dorchester is a team in 5A to watch out for. They are very, very good. Bethesda 41, Spartanburg Christian 24. Bishop England 37, Georgetown 14. North Augusta, big win there for the Yellow Jackets 35-13. Shout outs to Coach Thomas there and the crew. Big victory over the Mustangs there over Midland Valley 35-13. Let's see what else. South Florence 38, Soxie 13. I think that's about all we've got for tonight. John, I'm going to run through. Actually, John's going. I won't talk to him anymore. Run through the Upstate scores one more time after I talk to you about our sponsors, the Georgia Agency. If you guys need insurance, like I said, open enrollment is literally, a week and a half away. You need to figure out your insurance plans. If you're a seasonal worker, maybe you work at a hotel, maybe you work in the fast food industry, maybe you work at, you're a construction guy or a landscaping guy. You have insurance through your company because you're independent or whatever. Call the Georgia Agency. They will hook you up. Blue Cross Blue Shield, Bradley George, Richard Marsh, Wayne George, the guys will certainly give you a great deal there. Give them a call. Check them out on Facebook. Check them out on the website at georgiaagency.net. Open enrollment is here now. If you need it for yourself or for your business, for your whole company, call the Georgia Agency. Also check out our friends Always on Top, Clothing Always on Top brand on Facebook and Instagram. Got some great shirts out, some great merch there for the Tar Heel fans. Visit their website or visit their pages and buy something today for sure. One more time here. We're going to roll through the Upstate scores. We'll get out of here, and then we'll see you guys next week for a huge, huge last week of football. Once again, guys, appreciate the Sasha for checking in. The big win for the Eagles for sure, 47-10 over Christian Academy. Scott Marshall, thank you for tuning in. Yeah, Chapman Panthers, man, that team. I know you said they're state bound. I think you're onto something. That is a good program there with Coach Hodge and those guys. If they play a game within 25 points this year, I don't think they have. Big win for those guys as they win 69-20 over Southside tonight. So thank you guys for watching and for tuning in. Really do appreciate it. I'm going to run through the state Upstate scores one more time, and then we'll get out of here. If you follow us on Twitter, we're at Movin Chains, MOVINCHAINS. Obviously, Movin the Chains on Facebook. You can watch us on either option you want to. We're live on Facebook and Twitter now, so appreciate you guys tuning in on both platforms. If you want to watch us later, we'll still be on Facebook and Twitter. We'll also be on YouTube probably tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, something like that. We'll be on the audio version only on your Apple Podcast, your Spotify Podcast, your Anchor Podcast, wherever you get your podcast. It'll be available. Search for Movin the Chains. We'll put out links on both our pages here for you guys in case you need to find it. That we've got a couple friends who just like listen to it on the car ride every Monday or so. So we'd love for you to check us out that way as well. So here are the Upstate scores for you guys in case you're just tuning in or maybe you've missed some earlier. So here's what we've got from the Upstate here in Week 9 of high school football season. Wren 55, BHP 28. Lawrence 33, TL Hanna 23. Dorman 55, Mauldin 7. Gaffney 56, Boiling Springs 13. Spartanburg 62, Riverside 7. Burns 46, Hillcrest 23. Chapman 69, Southside 20. Union County 28, Newberry 21. Woodruff 28, Mid Carolina 24. Blacksburg 42, Landrum 36. Broome 54, Carolina 16. Eastside 35, Greer 28. Pendleton 35, Liberty 0. Daniel 45, Pickens 0, Seneca 25, Crescent 21, Greenville 65, Berea 0, Travelers Rest 35, Blue Ridge 28, Powdersville 47, West Oak 28, Woodmont 21, Easley 14, Westside 26, Greenwood 9, Southside Christian 48, Georgia Force Christian 13, JL Man 47-36 over Wade Hampton, Walhalla 69-55 over Palmetto, St. Joe's all over Christchurch 47-7, and Abbeville 48-20 over Saluda. Congrats to all the winners tonight. Congrats to all the region champs. I know we've got, I think Dorman maybe clinched tonight too. I know Dorman. Let's see, Lawrence clinched. Let's see who else. Abbeville clinched. South Point clinched. All the guys that locked up a playoff spot, hats off to you. Big win to you guys. I'm excited to see what happens next week. I know there's a lot of playoff seeding still to be determined, so next week should be a lot of fun. Also, for John Epps, Kevin Thomas, for Moving the Chains, thank you guys for tuning in again. Teams of the week, John went to Chapman Panthers. Big win for those guys. I went to Lawrence Raiders. Big win for those guys. You know, this has been a super exciting football season so far. Can't wait to see what next week in the playoffs have in store. So, also, if you guys have any connections with some of the the guys at the SCHSL or maybe the guys in the Shrine Bowl, if you don't mind, shoot us a DM. We're trying to get in touch with those guys about doing some coverage from down there in Columbia and over in Walford for those two big days. So, love to get you guys to help us out and get us on board with those guys. So, once again, shout out to our sponsors at Georgia Agency. Give those guys a call for your insurance needs. Shout out to the Always on Top clothing brand. If we didn't have you guys, this wouldn't be possible. So thank you guys for doing that, and thank you to all you guys for checking us out each and every week. We've got way more viewers than we could ever imagine. That last week was our biggest week, I think, of the year. So appreciate y'all making that episode big, and hopefully we do the same for this one. So once again, Movin Chains. I'm a VINCHAINS on Twitter. Movin the Chains on Facebook. We're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, everywhere you can imagine now. So appreciate you guys checking us out everywhere, and thank you again for watching. Once again, for John Epps, who we lost earlier, and for myself, Kevin Thomas, this is Moving the Chains, and we will talk to you guys next week.